Hello everyone, we're back. Hopefully this will now work properly. I'm just setting up the chat, so please just bear with me because I have to set the chat up in that same window. So just bear with me. I've had to do a new chat and a new channel, and so everyone needs to come over to the new chat because that is what's happening. It's now working properly, isn't it? Hello from Darlington in the UK. I don't know why it happened like that earlier. It sometimes does that, and it's a pain in the butt. So, you know, it is what it is, I'm afraid. So let me move that a little bit to the left and make this just a little bit bigger. The lip sync is now okay. Perfect. Perfect. I'm glad you're all happy. Gotta keep everyone happy. Lip sync, okay, and that looks and sounds great. Thank you. Now, I use a program called Wirecast from Telestream. It's really, really good. It's the one we used to use when we did the live Transport Evolved shows, but it's not maybe quite as reliable as it could be. So it works, yeah. So I still haven't made the leap to EV yet, but your channel will help me choose. And for those who are interested, I made the previous thing I did private because, well, I was a grumpy sod, basically. And I don't think you want to see that, really. You don't want me to see me being grumpy. And also there were some comments made in it that really weren't appropriate. Thank you for caring about quality. I do care about quality on a regular basis. And frankly, it's a pain in the bum sometimes. Hello from Napa, California, USA. Hello! You're just down the road from me, really. Not very far. Not really very far. I wonder how many of you know that I am actually in the United States. Having a hard time keeping up with all the live streams. Love Transport Evolved. Let the haters choke on their fossil fuels. Oh, blimey. That's some strong talking right there. That's some strong stuff. Let me just restart this and tell people that I'm back online in the right place. This is now the live stream because the other one didn't work. Everyone's got their stuff now. Oh, I just managed to tweet it from all 4 of my Twitter accounts to all 4 of the Twitter accounts that I use. There are others, but there we go. Wow. Wow. You were pretty funny, I think, Nikki. Everyone got to have their coffee first, including me. Greetings from Glasgow in Scotland. Hello. Do you know, I can't do a Glaswegian accent. I can get close to Edinburgh, but not that. Hang Time 3? Yes, it is, because Hang Time 2 was a mistake. Hang on. I'm live on the internet. Mario, greetings, sir. Hope you're having a great day down in Costa Rica. Are all motors about the same, or who has the best? Well, it depends on what you need it for. If you need it for torque, or you need it for longevity, or you need it for... Because motors are built for different reasons. Some will be built for constant speed, some will be built for variable speed, some will be built for high power applications, some will be built for efficiency. Why is the live chat in the video stream? Because I want to name and shame the people. I have the technology. Welcome back. Hi from Oxford. I miss Oxford. See, I can make the chat go away just like that. I have the technology, and then it's back, and then it's gone, and then it's back, and then it's gone. And I can do smooth things as well, look. Ooh, see? Ooh. I'm in a silly mood, sorry. Yes, I am. Is that a problem? Did I buy a Model 3? I did not. No, I do not have a Model 3. My RAV4 and my Nissan Leaf are something like my 14th or 15th electric car. And that's it. Everyone wants me. How long has chat been up? Not very long. Enjoying from the Champion of the Valley, New York and Vermont. Oh, will Tesla be used by other manufacturers? Well, it depends if other manufacturers take up Tesla on the offer. How long has chat been 3 up? A while. Hi from Norway. That was fancy. I'm asking about the solar batteries replacing grid. It's because I would like to take an all or nothing approach, and that would need to be a thought out decision. Any likelihood of a gridless city? Yes, absolutely. There are people already living off grid. Where's the glass battery take off? Will they use them for planes and tanks? How will you feel when electric power is weaponized? Well, people are going to do what people are going to do. I would rather they didn't, but I'd rather they, you know. How do you think the sell-off of Opel Vauxhall will affect EV growth in Europe, particularly since the Bolt Ampera E is not right-hand drive? Well, it's going to Citroën, so take your pick. Does the Leaf have a learning curve and its estimated mileage available? It does, if you live in a hilly example area, for example. It bases its range prediction on a certain number of previous miles driven. Food for thought. Tesla Autopilot 2 costs $8,000 and doesn't work and won't for the foreseeable future. I think $8,000 will badly tarnish the enthusiasm for Model 3, especially when it's abandoned for a new platform. Interesting. Seeing the live chat was better. It tends to slow us down a bit. Okay, let's do that. Enjoyed the rant with all the unhuman, uncivil treatment transgender people get. A rant is needed and appropriate once in a while. Thank you. Yes, it is. Actually, you know what? Just going off on the side there, just for a little bit. So I'm 37. So I was 19 when I kind of came out the closet, and I've been me now for the best part of nearly 17 years now, and so I don't really think about it, and I've never really had any issues up to this point. So like 17 years down the line, when everything's done and finished and dusted, suddenly to get a whole load of horrible transphobic shit, it's horrible. Right, okay, where is the rant? Are you technically trained in what discipline? I am a classically trained oboist. I'm glad I still have the video rant up. What about a video about tyres for EVs? Is rolling in resistance important? Yes, I did a review a while back on the tyres we have on our Leaf. Would I happen to know anything about Tesla roof tiles? Any updates? No, not yet. Citroën Bolt, that would be nice. Someone please stop Maz clip. Tell him to go take a... Oh, I can do that from here. Ban. Block. Haha. And report. Yes! Did you miss my Tesla Fire news on Electrek? No, I didn't. I've been reading it, and I've kind of kept back on that one because I like to see things I like to see things in the hole before I jump on the bandwagon. Has no media heads ever mentioned terrorists weaponizing hydrogen cars yet? No. Would you give an electric motorcycle or scooter a fair test down on Transport Evolved? Yes, I have a motorcycle license now. I do ride motorbikes. I just don't have one. I would love a Zero. If I could switch out my RAV for a Zero, I might, but I can't afford it yet. Now with new water for fuel technology, I will try and bring it into homes and businesses first, so that could be answering reality. Why do people judge? People do. That's just the internet trying to upset you. Yes, it is. What's your take on the new battery Model 3 options and pricing? Well, I don't know yet. I think we're going to go all the way up. I think it's going to be bad. I get judged, yeah. It's good that you're comfortable talking about it. I do, but I have a philosophy when it comes to the internet. I'm putting myself out on the internet. So yes, in some ways I expect criticism and I expect people to be mean and nasty. But I've also decided that by going out and being so open about myself, who I am, my gender, my sexuality, things I do for fun, it makes it very difficult then for someone to shit stir effectively. So, give you an example. For those who don't know, I am a furry, which means I'm a fan of anthropomorphic animals, and so I like the artwork and the stories and the what if animals could stand on their hind legs and talk. And the furry fandom gets a lot of bad press, and sometimes it gets some good press. I kind of busy myself with doing a lot of charity work, and I do mascotting, fursuiting, and to dress up as giant animals and go into children's hospitals and make the kids smile and stuff like that. And I talk about that quite openly because if I didn't, then people would think I was ashamed of it, or maybe I, had something to hide, and I don't. I'm proud of what I do, so that's why I generally am fairly out about everything I do. Electric motorbike next on 10. Yes, give me one, I will ride it. You need moderators like Bjorn. Does Bjorn have a moderator? Oh, great. Then I'd love to be one. I wanted to work with Bjorn a while ago, and I asked him like 2-3 years ago, and he said, no, I work alone. When do you think self-driving cars will become legal and used by a lot of people? Thank you for making the show really nice. So thank you. Well, I think self-driving cars are just around the corner, but legislative is going to be the problem. I just love the Ampere E. Why do you think it's so difficult to buy one? Do you think they don't want to sell too much? But why? Well, I mean, GM got bitten really badly with the Chevy Volt when it came to Europe. And I think people don't necessarily think about that. And so they don't want people to, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I think GM is scared of losing its money, and it doesn't have a lot of money spare in the brand in Europe. Greetings for Austria. What if there were max 5 standard battery sizes, 1 for small compact, 2 sedan? Yes. Let's have battery swap. Well, that requires people to work together, and the other problem with battery swap is that you're relying on all the batteries being the same, and they're not. I don't actually. It's funny. I don't experience anything really because of. I mean, look, I'm wearing this is from a convention in the UK. This is from a convention in the UK called Confuzzled, which I used to go to. He uses moderators for his live chats. Well, there you go. What's your favourite car company? I don't have one. Oh no, I'm fine. By the way, this is not Starbucks coffee. Oh, my camera's doing weird things. Let me fix that. Let me fix that focus for you. I have a camera that does weird things, but you can fix the focal point, and now it's working. I know someone in Slovakia that has his Peugeot batteries perform 20% less. 20% worse. You didn't make me lose my train of thought. I thought that was really funny, actually. You furry bastard. That's a very British comment. I know. Do you know EV West? I know of them. I want to work with them. I dressed up as Carlisle's mascot once. That suit stank. Yes, because it's a mascot outfit, not a fursuit. If you were a fursuiter, you do everything you possibly can to keep your fursuit clean and not smelling. I find it annoying that quick charges are concentrated in urban areas and it's not always along highways where they're most needed. That's true. I completely understand why peeps prefer women. Why do others have issues? Jealousy. Have I ever been rickrolled? Never going to give you up. No. Never going to let you down. I would never do that. Yes, I have. A couple of times. One by Gavin. Gavin Shoebridge. Good old Gavin. Fancy webcam. Here's a thought. If one had a backup battery system for power, why not use it to DC to DC high power charge? That way you can have a solar system that is solar and grid charged. Job's a good un. Do I use Electra Laundry Show? No, I don't. Do you lease your cars or buy them? I buy them. Obviously, one of them is really old now, 15 years old. So it's young compared to my normal old cars. All right, the stream is more delayed than I thought. Sorry about the confusing comments. No, it's fine. what do I do in a fursuit? You get very hot. Because it's like wearing a carpet. No, I use mine to entertain. So I have a couple of characters that I portray, and I go to like conventions, like Comic Cons, wander around. It's a bit like cosplay, really. And I go to charity events. So I'm going to a car show at some point as entertainment. I went to the Oregon Cat Video Festival recently. In fact, you know what? He's going to kill me, but I don't care. See if we can find the video. So this gives you a good idea of what we get up to. Oregon. Let's see if we can find it. Here we go. Sorry, I was worrywart when you live stream driving. I have an anxious nature. It's okay. I didn't know there were electric cars 15 years ago. You are ahead of the curve. The RAV4 EV was 2002, mine was made, but they were making the RAV4 EV in 1999 as test vehicles. And I was referring to Kiwi EV, yes. I just linked you to another video which shows you what we get up to. Someone asked me, so there you go. If you're interested in that particular video, I'm the giant fox with the goggles on his head. Methinks YouTube delays the replies to save me the heartache of a nasty reply. I lease my Nissan Leaf, so cheap at present. Do you think Tesla will adopt the new salt battery? I don't know. Tesla will do whatever it feels is cost effective and most, effective for the green car world. And I'm so excited about my cameo that I'm doing later. The RAV4 is as old as me. Oh my goodness. I feel old now. Really old. Try an iced vest or cool shirt to keep cool. Yes, we do use those. I don't have them. How do I get a test vehicle? How did I get a test vehicle? Well, I'm a motoring journalist, or I suppose a YouTuber now. I'm not really. I'm a motoring YouTuber. That is my profession these days. I actually, when people say to me, "What do you do?" I say, "I'm a YouTuber." I never used to, but these days I do. And so I'm known by most of the major manufacturers, and when they have a launch event, they'll sometimes invite me over and I'll talk to their car pimps and ask them if I can have a car for a week, and they'll arrange it and I'll make a review in response. Tesla is one of the few car companies that's really difficult to get a car from. If you live in the UK, not so much, but if you're in the US, it's quite hard. I'm just laughing because, okay, this is on my edit window right now. Which is funny. Your logo is brilliant, by the way, just saying. Thank you. It's a bit like a couple of other logos, which I didn't realise until I saw the other logos after mine had been made. How many years do you think it will take to get 60% of auto sales 100% EV? Probably about another 10 years. My first car was a Ford Anglia. Imagine how old I feel. My first car was a Morris Minor. Do you think diesel engines should be taxed more, especially since it has 10% more energy in the first place? Yes, I do. Are you a journalist then? I suppose I am a journalist, a car journalist. What did I do before? What I did before was play music. All that stuff behind you, see the music stand? That I was a professional oboist. I was at the RAV4E offered in the UK. It was available for a few select people, but that's it. It wasn't available to buy. No, it's not fully charged. It's Mr. Llewellyn. He's helping me out with something. It's really cool to get a peek into my editing dungeon. Yeah. So I can actually show you. Let's see if I can do this. I have the technology because I am a new local desktop presenter. And I can show you this, and I can show you this. And someone was asking me earlier on about my computer. And so I can actually now show you my computer. System information. So look at this. This is my computer, my editing machine. Those who are interested, I have a 2000 and it's not really a Mac Pro, it's a Hackintosh, and I've got 2 displays. These are all the hard drives that I have connected to it. So all the drives that are connected to it. Actually, where's Floof? Ooh, that's broken. It's lost its icon. And the memory, 32 gigabytes, and it's not really a Mac. So there you go. You live relatively close to Robert. I used to too. How hard is it to get the RAV4 shipped over? What, to the UK or to the US or what? Because I only picked it up when I was here. So cool. I played the bassoon. Played past chat. This has been the most troll-free chat room on YouTube. Good job, other chatters. Stay awesome. I think it's because I put the chat up, so it's part of the thing. People see it. It's on the video forever. Lol, Mac Pro. Oh, Apple, you don't even know. I run my OS through a pen drive. You have a hard drive called This Is Bad. What flavor of Linux do you have? It's called Mac OS. I have a hard drive called This Is Bad because it's an SSD that's died and I need a new SSD. Let me show you again. See if I can find it. So I have this drive here is dying, and it's inside my machine. I just haven't taken it out yet because I've got, this drive is made up of 3 of these, and it used to be 4, but this one's dying, so I don't use it, and that's why I should do it. And then all the others are just, you know, whatever. This one does not have an icon, and I don't know why it doesn't have an icon. Somebody was asking questions. You have a hard drive called This Is Bad. Linux drive. What do you... Oh, I do have Linux on there. Sorry, that's Debian. Oh, it will be Debian. I normally run Debian, but I reformatted it recently. How do you send notifications here on YouTube? I don't know. Any backstory on how you got the RAV4? I love the old model, it's really cool. Well, I basically put out a thing going, hey, Transport Evolved would love to have an old EV as a kind of a social experiment to see what it's like to live with one. And somebody actually gave it to us. It was broken. So I had to then spend about $5,000 putting a new battery pack in, and that's been it. I find the trolls are totally doomed. Mine is Kubuntu Neon. It's Nikki's dogs. What? Where are my Nikki's dogs? I'm from England. My SSD died after 6 years. That's why mine's going. Do you know who makes the best capacity 18 650s for the latest amount of money? I don't know. Debian hardcore. Well, I'm running a website on a Debian. I'm running a Debian distro on the not the well, yes, Transport Evolved runs on Debian. I should probably let that slip now because I kind of put myself in a hole. But I also have a G4 eMac running Debian, and I have Debian running in my Raspberry Pi, and I'm just about to put a Raspberry Pi in my RAV4 as a carputer. The problem is I need to decide whether I put in an Odroid XU4 or a Raspberry Pi 3 or a just a standard like Android based head unit, because this I use on a regular, this is my daily thing that I use. This is used by my RAV to allow me to see how full my battery pack is, because the gauge on the display is not very good. You are like the third or fourth person I've seen today who said, I bought an EV because of your show. You have no idea how amazing that feels. It's lovely. And the really nice thing is everyone goes, I bought an EV because of your show and Robert's show, or Robert's show. And they go, yes, thank you, it's been brilliant. And I've gone, nobody's come to me yet and gone, I bought an EV because of you and it's horrible, it sucks, I want my money back. So I'm quite pleased about that, really. The only problem with the Raspberry Pi 3 is that, and it's the only problem I'm having with the Odroid, is that I want to have Bluetooth hands-free protocol, so HFP. You are changing the world, girl. Do I think Elon Musk is doing a good job running Tesla? The same way that Steve Jobs did a good job running Apple. Any idea why people in Portland, Oregon don't believe Kelly Blue Book or Edmunds used car values when selling their used Priuses? Because it's Portland. Portland is weird. Oh, thank you, Lewis. I'd like to see more videos about your setup. Well, I mean, the whole enchilada is going to have more fun stuff on it. Robert is too ranty. No, he's not. He's lovely. You should see some of my outtakes. You bought an electric motorcycle because of my show. Blimey. EV cost. I would like to know what happened to my old Leaf. It had the best number plate. It was. I think it was JF11 LFR, just 2 leafers. Oh no, it was LF11? I can't remember my old car's number plate. Gosh darn it! You couldn't find my other channel. Do you want all my channels? Do you want some of my channels? Do I dare share all of my channels with you? YouTube. Let's see if I can find it. You know what? Hello, everyone. Oh God, I really should change that. This is the whole enchilada channel. It's not big enough yet to have. Why did I go to the States? Everyone asks me that. I went to the States because I didn't like the way the UK was going with UKIP, and I didn't think America would be stupid enough to elect a celebrity reality TV star to the White House, and I was proven wrong there. I love Portland. I actually don't live in Portland. I live nearby Portland, but I do. My wife's American, which is why I moved over here. Excuse me, I should have muted myself there. That's the whole enchilada. I put the link up there for those who like it. I guess I have it in for GM after watching Who Killed the Electric Car. Yeah, but people can change. As Basil Fawlty, you know, the Basil Fawlty, don't mention the war thing. You know, there are people still who haven't forgiven Japanese people or German people for World War II. And it's been a long time ago. I didn't like the way that the UK was starting to treat foreigners, and my wife was a foreigner, and they were talking about doing weird things to try and, you know, basically say a foreign national lives in this house or works in this company, and I didn't think it was good. Oh, missed. Yeah. Tell me how you make your weekly videos, or which ones do you want to talk about? The Transport Evolved, the show that I'm doing, so I can actually talk you through this right now. Give me a second. I don't want to spoil tomorrow's video. Let's see. Oh, I just need to do something. Just give me a second. So, select Window Monitor, Final Cut Pro. All right, here we go. So I can talk you through this now. This is the Transport Evolved edit window that you'll see here. These are all the things that I use for doing the Transport Evolved editing, and you'll see that I have a massive library of all the different things going on. These are the introductions to. So this is the one I'm working on for tomorrow, which is the UK coal-free. And you'll see that it starts off looking like that. And then I sync up the audio and the video. And then I add a green screen. And then I add a background to that. And then I go from there. This is funny. Maybe I should just leave that in like that. But I mean, these are just the various videos that I've done. I just use Final Cut Pro to edit all this stuff together. For those who don't know, I think maybe it's fair for me to say, I am now producing content for a company in New Zealand. So some of the content I already produced for Transport Evolved is going to another place as well. But this is yesterday's, the leaf closeout. So you'll see here that these are the various elements, so I can hide them all. So you'll see I just add the various components in. And off we go. And these are the end credits, etc., etc. So obviously doing 10 is a little bit more in depth. And it's a shame because we had a really nice Robert ranting again. Yep. Whoops. We had a really lovely video from Kate Walton Elliott, which you'll see there, but we've been unable to use it because the audio quality was just too poor. She had some issues with her camera. So that's not going to make it to the channel, unfortunately. But I can probably show you some other things that we're working on here. I have way too many hard drives. That one is for later, but I'm not going to open that one yet. So this is a 10. You can see a 10 episode here. So this is a 10 episode, and you'll see that obviously it changes according to. Actually, this is an Eco News setup, which is why the things are not properly set up. But there you go. That gives you an idea of what it looks like and how I edit videos. How has the YouTube ad boycott affected your channel? It's nice to see an advert linked to your channel, EV charger, instead of for a normal ICE car. So I don't get any say in how the ads that come on my channel are produced. They just happen. And we go from there. Who pays my bills? It's not just Patreon. Okay. If in the interests of being really upfront about this, so Patreon is about a quarter of all of my income comes from Patreon. Just over a quarter comes from Patreon. Then I have just started working with a utility company in New Zealand to license. They are licensing my content. They provide some of my income. And then the final bit of my income comes from ads on YouTube. So, and with that, I'm still not bringing in, I'm bringing in just enough really to pay stuff. So that's pretty much where it comes from. And I'm also married, so you know, my wife brings in some stuff as well. Do you think the next generation Leaf will have all-wheel drive as an option? I really hope so, because I want one. How much do I like the new 10 background? Which one are we talking about? The 10 background hasn't changed for about a year. If you mean like the backdrop, I'd like another one, but I haven't found the right one yet. I bought myself a used Chevy Volt recently and love it. A Leaf just doesn't have the range I need for where I live. And you know what? If people come to me and say, look, I bought a Volt instead of an EV, I bought a range extended EV instead of a pure EV, fine. As long as you plug it in and you use it as much as possible in an electric mode, I really don't care. Back from tea time. Hi. It's coffee time here. When I win the lottery, you're sorted. Hi from the great Northwest Florida. Hello. So projects going forwards. Someone asked. So one of the things I want to do is put a J1772 charging station into, a J1772 charger into my Nissan Leaf. I need to find some sponsors to help me with that project because it's going to cost about $4,000, $3,000 I think. To do it properly. I can do it for less, but I'd rather do it with two. So I've got 6 kilowatt charging on the RAV4. What does my wife do to bring in money? She doesn't really do much online. She is a very reclusive person, very private person. She is she works in IT. Let's leave it at that. Would I consider buying a Bolt to replace the RAV4? I would, but my wife and I had a really bad experience with the Chevy Volt in the UK when we had the Chevy Volt in the UK, and it just kind of doesn't really bring in a lot there. Why is the hydrogen cell technology less relevant for future? Because hydrogen fuel cell technology is really expensive still, and battery technology is really taken off thanks to Tesla. You know, if someone, let's not pull punches here. If someone came along and did the same thing with hydrogen fuel cells that Tesla has done with electric vehicles, battery electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel cell cars might actually take off. I have a 2011 Leaf that has lost battery capacity. I get 50 miles of range now. That sucks. It's only due to the new way of generating hydrogen that's taken a long time to get it solved. Is the piece you did about me using a camping extension still on Transport Evolved? I believe so. I believe so. Yep. Edward has bucked the laws of physics. Engineer Marin, thanks. Do you think there will ever be a standard charging system would help, like unleaded is simple? Yeah, it would. Well, there is. There's J1772, which is pretty much the standard in North America, and Type 2, which is standard in Europe. But getting fast charging standardized, that's the trick. Do you think the Chevy Bolt EV sales will ever pick up? Eventually, maybe. I mean, we're at this point where people are waiting for Model 3. That's the reason why it is where it is. I mean, Model 3 is, so many people are waiting for Model 3. There's such hype around Model 3, and it's either going to be a complete success or a complete failure. It is an either or option with Elon Musk. What do I think about the new Model 3? I think it needs a hatchback. I was really disappointed when Tesla did that. Yeah, the Model 3 is not an everyday person's car. It's a posh car. The Model 3 is a high-end posh car. No matter how you cut it, it's a posh person's car. And I say that as somebody who's been accused of being a posh person. I like my cars to be very functional and practical, which is why I had a Morris Minor for many years. Bye-bye. What's the trick with fast charging? Needs manufacturers to get together? Impossible. Well, no. So SAE, the Society of Automotive Engineers, has come up with a standard. The CCS quick charge standard is the standard, but Tesla went off and did its own thing. The Japanese car manufacturers went with CHAdeMO because CHAdeMO came first. And so there's this impasse where they're going, well, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do this. Why haven't any other companies used Tesla superchargers? Because Tesla will want something in return and other car companies are worried for it. Have you booked a Model 3? No, I haven't booked a Model 3. I turned you on to my son in Kansas, Missouri. Is it Kansas, Missouri? And he bought a 2016 Leaf and he tells me that there are more charging stations free than there are in any other US city. Thanks for your channel, Steve in PDX. I don't like posh cars. I like the Leaf and Bolt more than Model 3. Elon Musk says he didn't want the hatchback because in the Model S it kills backseat headroom. Is fast charging DC? In that case, battery pack voltages are a problem. Fast charging is DC, direct current. Yep. Hatchback is a UK thing, not a US. Hatchbacks in Europe are really popular because we don't have a huge amount of space, so the number of cars per family is lower in the UK than it is, say, in the US, and so we like our cars to do everything. You know, my RAV does everything. Good example, Sunday morning, me and the dogs jumped in the RAV. We went up to Germantown, just down the road from us. We went through the parks there. We did like a 5-mile hike through mud. I got muddy, the dogs got muddy, the car got muddy, came home, you know, put the seats back up in the back, and then later that afternoon just blitzed the Hoover over my the driver, Matt. And then later that evening I went to a concert in concert gear, all fully dressed up and smart. So the car is practical and allows me to do that. I couldn't do that in the Model 3. We need a dog door Tesla. I'm 6'2" and I can tell you the outboard seats in a Tesla Model S definitely hit my head on the roof due to the hatchback. How is Model 3 a posh car? Well, because it's built as a... It doesn't feel like it's built as an everyday car. It doesn't have that feeling of durability. It has that cutting edge feel, not that durability, everyday feel to it. I might be wrong. I was in the Tesla model showroom yesterday and there was a hint that the Model 3 is delayed past mid-2018. The UK government may reduce the grant, which could upset the price. Yes, it probably will. Any info on Tesla's proposed terms to share? Why do they seem very willing to? It needs to be quid pro quo. So Tesla wants something that's similar value to the technology that they're giving you. That's where it's breaking down. How big do you think Model 3 compared to your Leaf? I think it's going to be about the same size. Hatchback Civics are hugely popular where I live. What do I think of the Peugeot Ion? I love it. I love the Peugeot Ion and the Mitsubishi i-MiEV and the Citroen C0. What do I think the Model Y will be? I hope it's going to be an SUV. In that case, I would be interested. I would be very interested in a Tesla pickup. Wrong CUVs, yep. Have you heard of the new Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid and what do you think of it? I don't know much about it, but I would like to see it. If you're talking about the one that's in the UK right now, I love it, and it's coming to the US. I love it. It's great. It should have CHAdeMO for the US though. I mainly suspect Elon because he wants to save the Earth by making us a multi-planet species, not just because his cars are cool enough. What are your thoughts on the plug-in hybrid Mini Countryman? I haven't tried it, but I want to. Care to make a guess when the Model Y will be shown? Late 2018. UK is special then. Europe and US love the saloon sedan then. Model X are popular around the world where I live and now I want one. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'd love to see a dealer and only electric cars from multiple manufacturers and allow consumers to go specifically looking for EVs without being discouraged. Is that feasible? Yes, it is. There's one in Scotland in the UK. Not sure if everyone here perfectly understands battery packs. To get standardized DC charging, everyone has to have the same battery cell configuration and voltage. Has Tesla introduced mobile phone support for their display cloning for apps? I don't think so. It doesn't need to look ugly to look normal. It's true, it doesn't. New Micra is apparently designed to take a battery. That would be an everyday car when it comes out. Yes, it would. I think Nissan is still very much doing good things with EVs. There are hatchbacks and finally the market recognises what people want and need. Yeah, hatchbacks are the way forward, I think. They're just practical. I just like them. I travel 300 to 500 miles in the UK per day. Would love an EV. I have a diesel C-Class. Is my only solution at the moment. Well, actually, Model S would be a really good choice for you. But also the new Leaf when it comes out. CHAdeMO is best, but cooling batteries at the same time would be good too. Do I know where Estonia is? Of course I do. It's got loads of chargers. Here's a good topic. Range extender, linear piston type, good efficiency, easy to repair. Interesting. Can I just ask why nobody has made a convertible EV other than the Smart for 2? Like, what the F is up with that? I don't know. There's no reason why it couldn't be done. I mean, there have been people that have converted Teslas to convertibles. There is a convertible Nissan Leaf out there somewhere. Love this channel. Hello. What is needed for Tesla to join the insurance industry? I don't know. Why garages offer single cell replacement when one is faulty? Because it's really difficult to take all of those batteries out. I'm going to give you an example. My RAV4 has been off the road since January. The person who's been doing it has been replacing batteries in their spare time. But they had to drop the pack and then take out the entire pack module by module and test each of the modules to make sure they were fine and put them all back in. And it's a really time-consuming process. And garages are not necessarily trained to do that. So it's easier for them just to ship it out. Now, there are exceptions. BMW, the i3, was built to allow module replacement, which is why it's easier for the BMW i3 to have a cell replaced. Brits get geography lessons. Yes, we do. A Tesla push bike. An electric micro would be cool. Everyone knows Estonia is in Scotland. No. Have you heard of Lit Motors? I have. They're the self-balancing people. Yes. Wow, people really like these. Why do people like these chats so much? Maybe I should just do this all day, all the time, and not make videos. C-Class is 40,000, Tesla S is 100,000, not easy to convince my fleet manager. Okay, then in which case you would, well, there's a new S-Class plug-in coming. Car mechanic I talked to said it's pretty easy to build traditional ICE models with batteries. Yes, it is. The new Leaf will be very much like the Pulsar. I hope so. Tesla Roadster wasn't that a convertible? It was, and there's going to be one coming out. Tesla Model 3 should have app cloning. Elon promised this technology. Opinions. I think it would be good. It would give you an extra screen. What about Tesla's battery swap plans? Is Model 3 going to do one? No. Battery swapping's dead. Really. We're beyond that now. The overheads for battery swapping are massive. Absolutely massive. Can I talk about my coming out story? There really isn't anything to say. I was on the way to B&Q to buy a flower pot while I was at college, and I'd been going through this kind of process for years in my head since a very young age, and I just kind of I failed my scale exam at college in my third year two times, and I was told if I failed it a third time I would be kicked from college. And going to music college had been my passion and my want since I was really young. It had helped me cope with the world and cope with my feelings about myself. And so my head of department said, there's a guy called Peter Gain. He said, I don't care, whatever the heck it is, sort it out. So I came out and told him, and I told my parents on the way to B&Q. I told him that my department head the next day, and that was it. We like hearing you talk, even more so when we can influence a topic. Yes, I think we like the chats because it's a two-way intervention. We get to pick your brain about topics, and you get to see our reactions to your thoughts. I've heard that the VW E-Up has cells that can be replaced one by one. E-Up, I think you might be right. We like your live show. It's much better to give everyone on this stream a thumb up on the YouTube page. Battery swapping was like hydrogen. Everyone hankered for it. Nobody wanted it. What do I think the max battery available will be for Model 3? Well, Elon Musk has said 75 kilowatt hours. Everyone's going, same thing. All right, so that's why those. Someone else was asking for YouTube channels a while ago, and I'm just checking now to see where we're at. Do Do you imagine manufacturers saying they believe EVs and completely replacing ICE engine with exclusively EV range? Any thought on which manufacturer would be the most likely to do it? BMW and Nissan. I'm a home mechanic and it's definitely isn't easy to convert ICE to EV. That's true. Tesla S plug-in. Stop shaking the desk. Am I shaking the desk? Sorry. Huge fan. What do you think the changes to Model S X will be to compensate with Model 3 reveal? Head-up display? Maybe, but head-up display is not going to happen with Model 3. Oh wow, head-up for UK drivers. A CAD company in Dundee is getting rid of 30 Nissan Leafs, picked up a 14-plate Accent, you know, the Tesla Ascent, for 6,350. Wow. No. Tesla S is not. That's not what I meant. An S-Class plug-in. So Mercedes-Benz do an S-Class plug-in. I think it's the S. I think it's the 550 plug-in hybrid. When you replace a cell, does it have to be the same amp hour age of the other so they can all be balanced? It should be as close as possible, which is why my RAV took so long to do, because I had to wake the batteries up. My local Volkswagen dealer has an e-up. I like that Volkswagen is building normal EVs. They're still expensive though, they are. No, not a Tesla S plug-in. A Mercedes-Benz S-Class plug-in hybrid. Am I aware of the molten salt thorium reactors? Wow! No, I do not. So send me info. I will nom all the info. Someone will turn that into a GIF. I don't know if that was a good thing that I just did there. So the other person that I'm working with, I want you to know that James and I are going to try and do something together. James Cook and I are going to try and do something together. Mercedes also do a C350E. They do in Europe, I think. Yeah, you're right. A few Yorkshire greeting for you. From you. Up. I would be favourite in nuclear if they stored it all in the same place underground in the desert. Merc CEV is... Oh, it's not a fully EV. The C-Class is not a fully electric. It's a plug-in hybrid. But it will give you a pretty good, pretty good capabilities. Why Ecotricity UK and other networks don't introduce simple contactless payment per kilowatt hour? This app business puts me off. It's partly due to regulation, I believe. Will we see electronic police car at any time soon? We already have. Thorium-related technology is questionable. I think there are EV police cars, certainly in New York, and there are some in the UK, and there are some, I think, in California. I wish James would join us via Hangouts or something. He would, and we've been talking about doing a Hangout at some point, so it will happen. Thorium is an exciting prospect. You can burn nuclear waste in a thorium reactor. I want to know more about now. The problem is James lives somewhere with really crap internet, which is the problem that Robert Llewellyn had for years as well. If anyone watched Robert when he used to come on my show, he was... big... None. You know. Hey, I just woke up in the middle of the night in New Zealand. What are you doing with our utility company? I'm taking them over, one show at a time. Well, I got to get back to work as this tech isn't going to put itself on the market. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Cool. Would a tiny trailer with batteries be feasible for extended trips? Yes. Join Robert, please. Doing what? When was Robert Llewellyn on my show? Ooh, lots. Go back and look in the archives for the Transport Evolved chat show before it became a non... So we used to do a chat show back in the UK because I had a studio there, a separate room, where I was able to do a channel chat show with this software that I'm using now that brought in all the different people, and it was live streamed and it was great. But it was difficult to do. This show has been going for years. Let me find... Where does electricity come from in the US? Nuclear power, coal? It's a whole mix. It depends where you live. There is actually a website that allows you to see whereabouts in the UK, where the power comes from for the different areas. Lots of local utilities now offer renewable energy options, which is what we have here in Portland. I know. I will send you a link through some non-forbidden channel. Your Oslo to London trip was funny. You and Robert Llewellyn videos. Very tempted to buy CPO certified pre-owned autopilot 1.0 Model S this year, as a Model 3 is set to have fewer features and I love the hatchback. Thoughts on deciding between the two? Model S all the way, because it's a car that's established. We know what could go wrong with it. Thank you for EV heads. When Nikki hits the sheets, James Cook has another video waiting, and I upload my new videos at 4 AM my time, so I do it for a reason. So let me see if I can find the last panel show that Robert was on. Oh, that was easy. This is the last show that Robert was on, which is way back, 2015, and it's a really bad thing. I saw me? What? You saw, where did you see you? Where did you see you? I'm confused now. That's what I was thinking, as I do plan on going on multiple trips per year. Certified pre-owned Model S should be close to price to a fully optimized 3. I would go with the Model S because, you know, it's the same logic I said for the Leaf video. Did I ever put the Leaf video up yet? Yes, I did. I put the Leaf video up yesterday. So the Leaf video, or this morning, the Leaf video says the same thing. You know, go for a model that's well established because it will have less teething problems. And if there are problems with it, then at least you know that you can fix it and whatnot. Love your show, but committed to 6:30 meal. Keep going. Shows. I love the shows, but the more the live chats. Have fun. We'll miss you. Have fun. Bye-bye. Eat food. Did you see the article that used US Nissan Leafs are going up in value? I did not. Good luck. Technical question. Why no solar panels on EVs, and would it not make sense? Because the surface area on EVs on the roofs are too small really to have a huge amount of difference to battery pack travelling along. Think about even a decent model, a decent solar panel now would probably produce, let's just say it could produce 500 watt hours on the roof of an electric car, and that's not going to be optimized. So even 500 watt hours would be hard for the roof of a car, and your EV uses, you know, anything from 5 to 15 kilowatts to push itself along the road. So it would only kind of give you a 15th of the power you need to push it along. Do I think the LCD screen in the Model 3 will mimic the unveiled one or be built into the centre panel like the S and X, just horizontally like the one we saw driving around? It will be like the demo car. It will be landscape. And the reason behind that is Elon is expecting the Model 3 to have a degree of autonomy in it, and therefore that screen is better, is more used to how we're using screens now. I mean, look at your computer screen now. We're using landscape rather than portrait. Toyota have put a solar roof on the new Prius Prime. Waste of time or not? No, it is not a waste of time. It's just minimal impact. So if you get revenue from ads, then what happens if someone has YouTube Red? You get a percentage of funding from the YouTube subscribers. Yes, I do. And while I'm at it, somebody asked me about Patreon the other day and VAT and whatnot. And could I use a different funding solution because they have to pay VAT? And this is really interesting because they said, well, I view what you're doing as a charity. I'm not a charity. I'm operating this as a business, which means I have to declare my income and I have to pay taxes on my income. But also when people buy goods or services, this is considered a goods or service, and they are donating through Patreon, that's considered goods and services. And so therefore, certainly in Europe, and so therefore it is taxed at the point of sale. And the reason why I use Patreon is because Patreon collects all the VAT that is taxed, that is required by law by the UK government and the European Union, not me. It's required by the European law. If you're buying a goods and services, it has to have VAT charged. And therefore, Patreon collects the VAT and pays it off to the various countries. Now, there's something like 20 or 30 different places in Europe that people are paying money to Transport Evolved from, and each of those countries has to have their tax paid independently, which is why Patreon does it for me, and why I use Patreon, and why VAT is charged. I don't see the VAT, I don't get it, but it goes back to your own government. Oh, right, okay, I'm going to go down this list now. Do you think the Model 3 is overhyped? A little bit. Solar car on roof means you can trickle charge during the day. Good point, but it's not going to charge the car a whole lot. I see a lot of cool people on here. How about a chat quicker than a forum on Telegram or something? You really don't want me on Telegram. I have a Telegram account. You don't want to see me on it. Because it's my alter ego is on Telegram. I don't know if I can do this without sharing my Telegram information. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, so my Telegram is mainly furry stuff. Installing 12-volt DC fans between the floor and the lithium-ion battery could be enough to cool the battery. Possibly, I don't know. Are you an Inc? No, I'm a limited liability. It's an LLC. It's a multi-partner LLC. It's to me and my wife, basically. And to be honest, I didn't make. I don't make much of a profit. We broke even just last year, I think. Oh, there's an ant. Hello, ant. We have ants. It's a thing in America. It will take several years before laws allow autonomous vehicles to enter the roads. The Model 3 will go through several upgrades before seeing the ability to use autonomy. What do you think? I agree 100%. How about the boring company of Elon? Would you drive through an underground tunnel in the city? Yes, if I was in an EV. Yes, I would. Pal Talk? I don't understand what Pal Talk is. What is Telegram? Is it like Facebook? Telegram is like a secure chat client, and you can have groups and you can chat. And you can send yourself silly pictures. See if I can do this, as I say, without. They are open source and non-profit, and you can have stickers which are super cute. See if I can find my stickers. And you can have stickers, and let me see if I can. Again, let me see if I can figure out a way of doing this that's gonna keep everything like, because I don't want people reaching out to me on personally. I have to keep some distance. So you can see if I can do this in a better way. I didn't realise. So that is a Slack channel chat with myself. I can share that to you. So that's Slack. We have found your thing. Cute stickers. Yep, you have. You have. You found my thing. Now I've got to go back and make an edit to that, but it'll be fine. Anyway, that is pretty much it. I have someone who's due to be heading over soon, who I'm going to do some stuff with, and I need to edit this Transport Evolved video for tomorrow on cool things. So I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to support us. Oh, do I find the GoPro stabilization is essential for in-car recording? It helps. It does. And I'm going to be doing something soon that will allow me to do this on Telegram as well. Final question, and then I have to go. When do you think will we really be able to have the Model 3 use autonomy vehicles like true someone without a driver? Short and long distances, your take on when? A long time, because legislation is a pain in the butt. Anyway, thank you for joining me. This has been fun. I will talk to you all soon, and this will be put up properly later. So, until then, keep evolving.